Hey everyone, and while taking a break from the Gamecom Open Games, I have decided to cast this game from TLO versus Hasu. This was suggested to me by one of my live viewers, so definitely follow me live, because I take requests, and this will be an homage to TLO because he is so awesome, and this is a very old game actually. It is from 2010, so almost a year back, and it was back when TLO was playing random. TLO is, of course, was the only pro who ever played random, part of Team Liquid. This replay is so old that I can't even put the overlay up here, the names. He is on Team Liquid. He has recently injured his wrist because he plays way too much, and he actually needs to he needs an operation to actually fix it, but doesn't want to go through with it because he won't be able to play for a few months. So right now he's just dealing with the pain, treating the symptoms instead of treating the actual thing. And this apparently was such a great game that I have to cast it, so it will be just for TLO. So hopefully this game does hold its promise, and hopefully we see something kind of weird from TLO, because I remember that when he was playing random we used to see so much weird stuff from TLO, and this is such an old game that it's from a few patches back, so we will be seeing some amulet play. So all these Templars will spawn with all their energy and be able to storm right away. What else viewers will we be seeing that has been modified? We are going to be seeing the very fast bunker and warp gates. The pylon range will be a bit larger, you can see that. What else? There are so many changes over the past few years. We will just have to wait and see. I really hope we see something very weird from TLO, because that would be awesome. I do think that he was playing random in this game or this tournament. This is when he was playing random, so definitely just a coincidence that he's Terran right now. And these gateways are actually fairly quickly. These timings are going to be off by everything because this is an old patch. All the timings have been weirded out. A factory, very fast factory, as well as a tech lab from TLO, so we might be seeing some Blue Flame Hellions. But Blue Flame Hellions weren't actually that popular back in the day, so interesting. Maybe this is a prelude to the future where you might be seeing that. And meanwhile, Hasu is actually just mining his second gas. Very standard play. I mean, sentries were so popular since forever because they're awesome. I remember back in when MC first won the first GSL he won, he made such great use of force fields. It seemed so overpowered that everyone was sure that force fields were getting nerfed, either their range or their diameter or energy cost, or just plain taken out. But that didn't happen because people have managed to actually play around with force fields. Now two more, Barrack and Starport going up for TLO. One Hellion is here. Oh, this is back when the Reaper upgrade, I believe, does not require factory. The Nitro packs don't require factory, and the Reapers were actually good, and we actually saw Reapers. We have seen the Reapers come back sometimes, but not often. TLO now abusing this mineral lines, getting some huge shots off, killing a single, I can't even show you the Harvester killed tab, so we'll just keep an eye on the income tab. 19 Harvesters, so he did kill quite a few, dropping it to 14, so he did get at least 5 Harvesters, so TLO taking a very early lead. Even scouting the Stargate and these Phoenixes have always been the same throughout the game, I think. So we will be seeing some Phoenix harass, at least for now, and actually there aren't many units from TLO, so these Phoenixes could actually be quite effective. One Viking is wisely being produced from TLO just to save himself from these Phoenixes, but Phoenixes are actually fairly decent against Vikings, especially since Vikings do a bonus damage versus armored. You can chase down the Vikings with those Phoenixes, and they do a lot of damage. Even though they do bonus versus light, they do take out Viking fairly quickly because Vikings are kind of weak. Anyways, Hasu not producing any more Phoenixes, so he is just gonna stick to 2 right now, picking off a single SCV, just being a menace, just for map control at this point. And what is that? This is the Viking along with the initial Hellion that got all those kills. No, he just tried to run up here. That wasn't the initial Hellion. That one got shot down. And Twilight Council actually going up for Hasu. So a lot of tech off of just one base, not a 4-gate, not anything standard. We are seeing some weird stuff from Hasu, not from TLO. TLO producing another Viking and not really producing much off his production facilities. He's not using this barracks. He's not using the factory right now. And really didn't get any upgrades. I wonder what he's doing with all his money. He actually has nothing saved up and no command center coming up. Engineering base, so he is going to get those early upgrades along with the tech lab, so he will be transitioning into a standard tank bio play that we don't see very often anymore, because now against Protoss we actually see only exclusively bio with a lot of ghosts. And this was back when ghosts weren't that popular against against Protoss, even though the Kydarian amulet still exists. And Blink coming up, you don't even see the progress bar on these productions. Oh man, this is really an old game. So Blink coming up from Hasu, we will be seeing some Blink micro, and we don't even see the timer here. So this was really in the early stages of the game, back when nothing was figured out. So we will be seeing some Blink micro from Hasu. This is really an old version of the game. It's kind of fun to actually come back and see these games back when people didn't know what to do. I was gonna say that this is very particular. None of these players actually have an expansion yet. TLO just now starting his command center, and that is a very late command center. I guess that people didn't really figure out their builds and didn't know when to be safe. And you can really see how much this play has actually evolved throughout the years. Nice pickup by the Phoenix on the tanks, and that's why tanks have become less and less popular in these engagements. I love these Phoenixes used to actually spot the high ground. Now these Stalkers are able to blink up if they want. Nice Blink micro here, blinking back the injured Stalkers, actually losing an injured Stalker and blinking back the wrong one, so not the best micro. Meanwhile, one Hellion just scouting around the map, still no expansion from Hasu. What is he doing? Is he going to expand with this? He is going to expand to the 3rd base instead of the natural. So I don't know what to say about this. He does have map control with these Blink Stalkers, so why not? He does manage to spot, and he is going to pick off this Hellion. So he will have complete map control, but why expand at the 3rd base when you can just expand at your natural expansion? Any thoughts on that, guys? Please say it in the chat. Now, meanwhile, Hasu still has map control. TLO now building his orbital command, gonna lift that off when the siege tanks are actually ready to siege the low ground. Look for a couple of bunkers to go here whenever he can. There it goes, the liftoff. This tank will have to move forward to actually defend this. That isn't many Stalkers, so TLO will be able to actually expand safely behind this. The bunker is getting salvaged. Look for 2 more bunkers to go down here. And really, why is this Nexus at the 3rd base and not the expansion? I don't know. Maybe he wants to save that 2nd base for later. Charge lots are on the way for Hasu, so as well as the Templar Archives, he is not getting he's not getting Storm or Kydarian Amulet just yet, because he is still off only 1 base at this point. This is so much tech off of 1 base. I don't know how he can manage it, and we are looking at this, and this seems so obvious to us, but remember, this was when nothing was figured out. These guys have barely been able to play the game as much as they would like. Actually, a fusion core. We are gonna see some battle cruisers. That is quite fun. Where is that battlecruiser in production? Battlecruisers from TLO. So this game will start getting epic soon enough. And I was gonna say, this is when nothing was figured out. You didn't know what was good against what. Well, you kind of could get a hunch about what was good against what, but no builds were rock solid like they are today. People didn't really know what was good, what they could pull off, what they should be doing, and this is really a very, very late second base by both these players, and it is very particular since we haven't seen as much aggression as you would expect for two one-basing player that long. Anyways, first battlecruiser is now up and running. This is when the battlecruisers were very slow, and that was actually a recent patch, or one of the two last patches. These battlecruisers will support this army, but are very slow, but are very good. They are actually so good compared to the battlecruisers in StarCraft 1, where they actually just shot so slowly. This battlecruiser actually shoots quite fast and does a ton of damage. Storm finally on the way for Hasu. Meanwhile, more battlecruisers as well as Stimpack with the old icons here, with those these black and white images there. I kind of find them cool. Anyways, Kydarian Amulet now on the way right after Storms, so these Templars will actually be able to warp in and storm as soon as everything happens. One Hellion making its way across the map just to see if there is a second base. Actually, TLO spots this and might actually think that this is a third base. Does he know that there is nothing here? I don't think he actually scouted this for quite some time. So he might actually think that he is behind at this point. And there it goes, a third